condições estão a melhorar. Já temos mais visibilidade, bem, temos ondas também. O mar a subir então nesta quarta-feira, de forma fulminante. Vamos ver então qual é que será a decisão da organização. Um, dois, três, quatro. Um, dois, três, quatro. Um, dois, três, quatro. 3, 4. Bem, eu recordo então, caso a competição avance, os atletas da primeira bateria, então da ronda 4, Uri Valadão, Maxime Castilho, Diego Cabreira, não sei, talvez seja importante começarem a aquecer, já temos aqui mais visibilidade, também temos ondas, aguardo apenas então aqui a decisão oficial da organização. Na segunda bateria vamos ter então Jared Houston, Éder Luciano e Ian Campbell. Depois na bateria 3, Alex Uranga, Alain Monge, um atleta local, Toca 12, vamos embora. Quarta bateria, Madison Silvestre, Miguel Limão, Jacob Correndo e Nelson Jeffrey Fox. Bem, são estes os confrontos então da ronda 4. Já vou dar mais informações. Bem, então parece que é oficial, vamos começar assim que possível. Eu passo a chamar então a primeira bateria da ronda 4, o Valadão, Maxime Castilho, Pedro Carreira, devem ganhar as números de posição com a máxima urgência junto do Beach Marshall. Well, it is official. We will start the competition as soon as possible. So first please check in at the Beach Marshall, Uri Valadão, Maxime Castillo and Diego Carreira. Please check in immediately at the Beach Marshall. The conditions for today, it's a 25-minute heat, 25-minute heat. No wave limit, the best two waves will come for the final scores, and the pedal out is allowed at 5 minutes. Well, and the priority system will be on, it will be used. As condições então de prova para já nesta quarta ronda, a duração de cada bateria 25 minutos, não existe limite de ondas, contam as duas melhores notas para o score final, cada lota utilizada aos 5 minutos tem e será usado como sempre o sistema de prioridade. Para o início então da competição, 4 minutos do start. Free surfers que se encontram na zona de competição vão então pedir para sair imediatamente. Já temos as bandeiras afixadas na praia. A zona de competição fica entre as duas bandeiras então que se encontram fixadas na praia. Well, free surfers, please leave the competition area immediately.
Proferindo avvisato.
Welcome everybody, Manny V here with Nunito Cardoso, and this is it. This is day number 6 of the Nazare Pro here on the beautiful beaches of Praia do Norte. And Nunito, the fog has been just holding us by the neck, saying I'm going to stay as long as I can, but it has lifted and the conditions are insane.
Yeah, the sun just won that battle against the fog and just popped up, and we got some amazing conditions on offer, and the waves face is just clean and a little bit of offshore, and the waves are here.
Yeah, we have waves. The fog has lifted for the moment. And yes, the first heat of the round number 4 is in the water, waiting for standby to get this show underway. We will start off with round number 4, go into the quarterfinals. We're going to see the semifinals, which is a non-elimination because the riders that do not win those heats will go into the podium final. And we're going to hopefully see the grand final by the end of the day. We're crossing our fingers this fog stays away.
Yeah, let's see if we do have time to finish the event today, but that's not an official call, of course. What is official is we have in the water Uri Valadan, Maxime Castillo, and Diego Cabrera on the first heat of the quarterfinals.
That's right, and you can see I'm pretty bundled up right now. This wind coming from the north is a little cold. You can see Nunito with his jacket wide open. He lives for this. But a quick little wrap up on what went down on that last day of competition. It was a world champion crowned. We had a women's division winner, and we had the winner in the Pro Juniors.
Yeah, that was an amazing day, and the events could not gone better through the Portuguese Armada. Joana Schenker taking away that world title, and actually it's staying here because she just got crowned here at Nazare. I could not think of a better ending for this year's run for Joana, and she's a world champion.
And we were cruising around the coastline here in Portugal yesterday, and we rolled into a gas station, and Nunito's all, Manny, come check this out. And he essentially, the day after she won the title, went from newspaper to newspaper to newspaper. She was on the cover of pretty much almost every newspaper in Portugal, and that was pretty awesome to see Joana Schenker bringing home the title here to her home soil of Portugal, and to put an icing on top here at Praia do Norte's very own Nazare Pro. But we also had the women's division and the Pro Junior division winners.
Yeah, the Chomin Lopez took that away from all of the rest of the field, and Scotty country, Basque country there is, and it took a beautiful win over his competitors. And we do have to at least acknowledge the 4th place position for the Portuguese. Miguel Ferreira did a wonderful job, and if I'm not mistaken, it was the first Portuguese ever to reach the final at a Pro Junior division. So that's an amazing feat for Portugal once again here at Nazare.
No, Portugal is becoming a hub of top competitors and incredible performing bodyboarders that are making a stamp on the international scene as far as it comes to bodyboarding. So Joana Schenker bringing home the world title. And we did have a Pro Junior finalist. And in the women's division, it was a Japanese domination.
Oh, amazing. It was the first ever only Japanese final, and Sari and Ayaka just battled up to the last minute, but Ayaka took the better of that final and was crowned for the second time Nazare Women's Champion.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for those two knocking out Alexander Rinder and Isabella Sosa in the semifinals, then we wouldn't be here saying congratulations to Joanna Schenker. So I believe Joanna Schenker may owe the Japanese crew a dinner or two.
Yeah, for sure. They should try and go for the sushi here in Nazare. Our local rider, Miguel Prata, owns Sushi Lovers, a restaurant in the village, and probably Joanna has to pay a dinner there and throw in some money at local businesses, especially bodyboard-owned local business like Sushi Lovers from Miguel. You have a beautiful drone image of the current situation here at the Praia do Norte Nazaré. A little bit misty still, but we will run this contest because the visibility just turned out to be quite nice at the moment. And round 4 elimination around here. 3-man heats. We got in the water Yuri Valadão, Maxime Castillo, and Diego Cabrera. And only the 2 top riders in the seats will advance into the quarterfinals, man-on-man heats.
Yeah, this is it for at least 4 of the riders in this round number 4. That is the end of the road. They will end in an equal 9th place overall for this event. International crew in the water. So heat number 1, we have the Brazilian, a French, and a Canary Island rider. In heat number 2, we're going to see Jared Houston, former world champion from South Africa, go head-to-head with Eder Luciano and also Ian Campbell. So 2 South Africans and a Brazilian in heat number 2. Heat number 3, we have Alex Uranga, Alan Munoz, and Antonio Cardoso. One of the first 2 Portuguese riders still in the event. That would put the icing on the cake if either Antonio Cardoso or Miguel Adal would win this event here. PLC,
definitely.
Jacob Romero, and Miguel Adal will end up that round number 4 heat, and it is stacked from here on out.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's a dream of Antonio Cardoso to win at his home turf here in Praia do Norte Nazaré, where he's been surfing almost since his bodyboarding career started. And Miguel Adal
there he is.
as
There
well.
he is. Antonio Cardoso with his lovely lady. Both of them been watching and waiting all morning long. And Antonio, he's hungry. I talked to him earlier, and he's ready. He would like to win here.
He really wants this. He really wants this, and at some extent, it would prove to himself that he's capable of bringing home a win in a world stage event, and that's what he's looking for, especially here at his home break.
All right, well, first off, here we go. Heat number 1 has started. These are 25-minute heats. Top 2 riders will advance on. And in the water, in the black jersey from Brazil, former world champion, I believe 2008, that is Uri Valadão from Brazil. In white, we're going to have the young gun from France, Maxime Castillo. And I know we got some French viewers out there just on the other side of Spain.
Bienvenue.
Bonjour. So welcome, France. Maxime Castillo out there in white. From the Canary Islands in yellow will be Diego Cabrera. So all the riders now out on the water. The heat has started, and here we go. Shared priority, and it looks like it will be Diego Cabrera drawing first blood.
Yeah, up and riding. It's yellow rider. Nice roll there. Let's see if you can hold on to that move. It was Diego Cabrera. Actually, sorry, I thought he had another color singlet. But yeah, that was Diego Cabrera drawing first blood out the back. A little bit of backwash on the face of that wave. And it was Uri Valadão deciding not to go. So we'll wait on that first scar, but Diego didn't land that move. That was a very powerful short break wave there. And,
well, that's the thing about Nazare. Praia do Norte here on the north side of the fortress out on the point. Just a ton of energy coming in and out of that canyon just outside of the point. Here's another look. Ton of speed, punches through, and there's just so much power, so much weight, and you can see his board flinging in the whitewash, not completing that move. Diego Cabrera heading back out to the lineup. So it is a priority system in play. Now Diego has that last priority, but we're still waiting to determine who will have that first priority out in the water.
Yeah, correct. And you can see on that replay that Diego got a little bit too late on that wave, and unfortunately had to punch through that lip and making the landing a lot harder for him. And you can see all the power of that breaking of the wave and the foam just jumping up into the air and making almost impossible for Diego to land that move. And like you saw on the replay, like I mentioned, he did not land that one. So we'll wait for the scores of that first wave while we're watching the riders out the back, still waiting for their first wave. So let's see if the sets keep rolling through, and Yuri and Maxime will have a go here at Praia do Norte. This is day number 6 of the Nazare Pro 2017 here at the beautiful town of Nazare. And we've got amazing conditions. Up and running.
Yeah, it looks like there's still a little haze. Udi Valadao up and riding, clean bottom turn, goes for the invert, lands it perfectly out in front of the wave, and that is a completed maneuver, and that's what the judges want to see. Clean, controlled, and landing out in front, and making sure it's able to ride it through. So Udi Valadao just caught a wave up and riding. That is Maxime Castillo.
Yeah, nice wave exchange here from Yuri and Maxime. I think definitely Yuri took the best out of that exchange, performing a nice invert. And yeah, Yuri this year has been on point, especially on those last 2 events that Yuri got a 2nd place and a 3rd place position. As I take you through this replay of Yuri Valadao, he drives that beautiful line, goes for an extended invert, lands it promptly, and kicks out of that wave, out the back. It was Maxime. He'll probably get a replay of that wave. He did do a roll move and landed it as well. And we'll wait on those first scores and see how the situation is unfolding here in this first heat of the quarterfinals, Manny.
So, yeah, I mean, this is going to be tough for the viewers. I mean, the judges, they got a little better view. There's another look. It looks like Udi Valadao. I believe that is not a replay. That is actually live action and nice, clean in and out, up and over that little ledge. So Udi Valadao, everybody's got that first wave under their belt, and now just waiting for scores to drop. So I can't thank you all enough for tuning in. If you're on our Facebook page, please like and then share and then comment. And in the comments, please let us know where you're tuning in from and what time it is. I just want to give a shout out to as many people as I can, especially those that are up at 3 or 4 in the morning and watching the live feed. You are all animals.
Yes, for sure. The famous "Where you at?" Manny Vargas signature trademark question. And up and riding, this is Diego Cabrera kicking out of that wave as it closes in front of him. But we did see a wave of Yuri Valadao, which was a barrel. And I think we saw another wave of Diego Cabrera at the moment, but that was not a replay, and it went for a roll. Probably get the replay of those 2 waves. So just to let you know what's going on in the water, as the mist is still present, but you don't have mist at your home in front of your computer. So type up Facebook APB Tour Facebook page, that is, and comment where you're at.
All right, looks like we got James in Perth, Australia, tuning in at 9 p.m. Danny is in Hawaii. It's 3:16 a.m., so he's one of those freaks. We love you, Danny. Gabriel is going for Udi Valadao. He believes in you, man. Andre, what's up? Tuning from Madeira, Portugal. Michael Warren is in Durban, South Africa. It's 15:15. Shoot, I should learn military time. Josh is tuning in from Sunshine Coast. Jean-Pierre going for Jared Houston all the way. Michael in Sri Lanka. What?
Oh, wait a minute, Manny.
Here we go.
Manny. Paddling, it's Yuri Valadao, utilizing his priority. Up and riding. There he goes. Decides to go to the right-hand side.
Nice.
And beautiful air reverse there. And lands it so smoothly. And as it just spins over that lip. And Yuri Valadao is on point. Like I mentioned, the last 2 events he was in the World Tour, he got a 2nd and a 3rd. And he looks so much on point. He's still one of the riders that can become world champion this year. He's on the top, Manny.
Yeah, that's the thing with this event on whole. I mean, going down right now, it is Ian Campbell who is in the lead right now on the leaderboard, and he is the one that is closest to be able to cinch up a world title here at the Nazare Pro. But a lot of factors have to fall into place for the South African to bring home his first ever world title. And I believe he does. If he wants to walk away with no questions asked, he must win this event without PLC in the final.
Oh, of course. This is one of those events you want to win. It's a Grand Slam event, which means it's the highest point events during the world competition. And up and running, this is Diego Cabrera.
Diego Cabrera, a ton of speed, comes off the bottom. Nice roll right there. So much air coming down off the lip. And as you can see, the waves have been picking up throughout the morning. And here we are at 2:18 in the afternoon, and it hasn't stopped. And I believe the forecasts are showing that it is supposed to be massive today. So if we don't get through today, it looks like we will have to finish off tomorrow. But that is all going to unfold, and we're going to see where that takes us.
Wow, you could see that wave of Diego Cabrera, easily the biggest wave in this heat so far. We'll wait for the score on that one. And like I mentioned, Diego did get a roll. It was the second wave. It was deemed a 6.5. And Yuri Valadão is on the strength of the 6.75 and a 5.75. So he's in the lead currently. And we're waiting for this last score of Diego Cabrera to see if the heat situation changes. In the first wave of Maxime Castillo, the rider in white, just come out as 4 points. And he's still on the hunt for his second wave. And last wave of Diego Cabrera just dropped. And it's a 7.5, and now Diego is in the lead.
Wow. I mean, we're going to see nonstop action with these conditions, that's for sure. And, I mean, this is what we've been waiting for. We're coming down to the wire. Here's another look at Uri Valadão's wave.
Yeah, he drives through this ride and tons of speed there. He looks for that section there for the lip just before the end section reaches him, and he's just able to off the lip with a nice air reverse there and landed quite smoothly, and the judges did appreciate that, and he just came out at the 5.25, and Uri Valadão is holding on to that second place position in this heat, and this is the replay of Diego Cabrera's wave, the 7.5, big wave there, easily a 5-foot 6-foot wave, and he was able to punch through that roll and landed it quite strongly, and he just got the best wave of the heat so far, Manny.
No, that was solid. I mean, we're going to see this type of wave exchange throughout, especially in this round, and everything else moving forward from here. I mean, all these riders, to be able to say you won here at Nazare Pro is pretty much one of those things you want to have in your portfolio. On your resume, to point that out, everybody knows that this is a powerful wave. It's just so perfect for bodyboarding, and it's one of those things that you would love to claim as a winner of.
Yeah, definitely. All of the riders I talked to throughout this years that we've been holding this event say they're so stoked to come here to Nazare and have a chance to have a go at Praia do Norte. Everyone just claims that Praia do Norte probably is one of the best beach breaks for bodyboarding in the world. And living proof, an example of that assumption is that the conditions here at day 6 are excellent, and the riders are already posting some high scores, and only 2 guys will advance in this quarterfinals, so one of these riders is going to get stuck in the quarterfinals with equal 9th place and 2,000 points, as this is a Grand Slam event and points are on offer here, and everyone wants to grab as more as they can. Meanwhile, a set approaching, Manny.
All right, looks like we do got 2 riders pulling back, Uri, and giving way to Maxime Castillo, who has priority. Off the bottom, nice cylindrical roll. Lands in the whitewash, a little bit of bumpy on the landing, but is able to hold on and ride that out. So clean, smooth, not a bigger wave, but he is looking for that second wave. And right now, he is behind the 8 ball with a 2 medium-sized scores, as opposed to Uri Valadão's 6.75 and 5.75. It's Diego Cabrera who is looking very solid right now. Here we go. Oh, Uri taking a look. May have lost priority unless he was the only one out in the water.
Okay.
So, yeah, Diego still has that priority.
Yeah,
so he's okay.
Maxime was in the need of posting a decent score as we wait for that last wave, that roll that we saw. If he wants to still believe that he has a chance to advance into the quarterfinals, this is a 25-minute heat. And no wave limit. 2 best waves will count to your total and final score. And Maxime Castillo just dropped a 5.5. So now is in contention to try to at least get that second place position and advance to the quarterfinals. He now needs a 7.01, Manny.
I mean, totally doable in these conditions. And, yeah, I can't thank everybody enough for tuning in to our live feeds here on Facebook, APB Tour. And also, you can also check it out on apbtour.com/live. Both of those, we're bringing you the live feed on both of those locations. And you know what? I've had a lot of people ask about, Manny, where can I get one of those hats?
Me too.
That's where you can get an APB Tour, and there's a store link on apbtour.com. So check it out. I think they're $25, shipping worldwide, and yeah, I'm keeping this one. All right, looks like Uri Valadao on the right. Nice big backflip right there. Timed it perfect with that backwash, and you can see how close the wave is breaking to the shore. So when you see these riders going on the bigger waves, that is what's happening. They're just yards away from the sand, and it is very shallow. So any hiccup, any move, and you can actually get really hurt here. Here's another look at Uri.
APB replay there, the backflip. You can see him open up his legs, preparing for the landing so close to the shore. And it's amazing to see this rider pull this smooth through so close to the shore and deeming them complete. So the judges can give the scores, and they want to those first 2 places.
Maxime up and riding right now. Ton of speed on this right-hander, a little wobbly. Maintains the speed, going for, it looked like he was going for an invert, but flattened it out and did a little board twist. He did pull it off. I think he may have had a little, try to change his mind at the last second. Didn't get totally inverted on that air, but it's going to be funny or interesting on what he's going to say that maneuver was.
I think the waves are breaking so close to the shore that the only thing that is in mind of these riders is to complete that move. Up and riding, this is Uri Valadao once again. He opts to go to the right-hand side and skips out of that one. As you can see, he was so close to the shore, and he did not risk to perform a move there. And like I was saying, Maxime probably was worrying about finishing and landing that move. That's why it was kind of a bit more controlled there, the invert, and didn't get so much of a tweak there. And we'll wait for the score of that last wave and see if Maxime Castillo improves his situation in the seat while Diego Cabrera, the fellow in yellow, leads.
Big shout out to Michael Roberts tuning in at 3:30 p.m. from South Africa. Here we go. Look at these sets rolling in. It looks like Diego Cabrera taking a look at this one. Look at this thing shaping up. We do have a north wind hitting this thing. So, oh my! Turning it sideways. Can he pull it off? Diego Cabrera in the shallows on the inside.
This is just too hectic. You see these riders putting it all in. I give props to these guys for trying to pull those crazy progressive moves so close to the shore and trying to land them in front of the foam, which will be just into the sand, and it's amazing. Up and riding. This is Uri Valadao opting to go to the left-hand side. He drives, stalls a little bit into the barrel, comes out, and is still going. Can he do a roll? And he does it. Still going.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, this is a great ride.
2008 world champion Uri Valadao is on fire. Answering back, Maxime Castillo from France. Looks like that thing's going to stay open for him, but he presses the eject button. But wow, what a way for Uri Valadao from Brazil. He is on fire right now.
What a great first heat of this day, number 6. The first heat of the round 4 of the men's division. That is, of course, because we already finished the women's and the pro junior division 2 days ago. And this is non-stop action, man. It's wave after wave. These guys really want to advance into the quarterfinals. And let's see what the scores drop out of this 3-wave exchange.
That was amazing. I'm telling you right now, Uri Valadao is looking very, very good. If he can keep that, if he can keep that up, if he can keep his consistent throughout the day, I wouldn't put it past him. Look at this. There's another beautiful wave from Uri Valadao. How's that check turn right there?
Wow.
Holding on, hitting the brakes, able to get a little bit of barrel ride and not done, and going for a roll, and lands on top of the wave. It wasn't a super duper clean roll, but he was able to pull it off. But I'm telling you, a lot of skills were thrown down on that wave.
Do you know what this repair reminds me of, Manny?
Yes.
You riding.
Oh.
That check turned into the barrel and
Yes.
then coming out with a roll. That looked like the game. And Yuri Valadon just found a great wave in this heat.
Yeah, Uri Valadao. And it's funny you say that because Yuri Textera, he's one of the, if not the best U-riding bodyboarding video game app player in the world, and he's been watching this entire time. I think he has a secret window open because he is at work, and he has a secret computer or has it on his phone, and when the boss comes around, I'm sure he hides it. And if you're doing that at your work too, big props to you. Now's a good time to let us know where you're tuning in from, and we'll hopefully get to those shout-outs, but there's so many coming down at one time. So let us know where you're tuning in at what time. Did that score come down for Uri Valadao
Yes, it
yet?
did. And the last wave of the rider in the black singlet, Yuri Valadao from Brazil, came out at a 8.25. So the best scoring wave in this heat so far belongs to Yuri. Beautiful check turn into the barrel, coming out, doing a roll, and still going on the wave. Unfortunately for Yuri, the wave just ended in the shore here in the in the Sand area Praia do Norte, and he cannot continue and perform some more moves because if the wave would allow him, Yuri for sure would at least apply one more move, and the score would probably even be better. But first excellent score range of the day goes to Yuri Valadon leading this first heat.
Uri Valadao, definitely a contender in the world title hunt. A lot of things have to happen to make it possible for Uri Valadao, but he is up there in the ranks. But it is Ian Campbell. Ian Campbell, we're going to see him in the next heat facing off Eder Luciano and former world champion Jared Houston, 2015 world champion Jared Houston will be facing off against Eder Luciano. That is going to be an incredible heat to watch, ladies and gentlemen. So now is the time to hit share on the Facebook Live feed. And now is the time to tell your friends to wake up and watch because this is going to be intense.
Wake up, smell the coffee, drink it because it's going to take a while before we end this day. And just with the first heat alone of this day, the first heat of the round 4 here at the Nazare Pro, has been non-stop action, and we already dropped 8.25 from Yuri Valadão, the rider in black, leading this heat, and in second place position this heat, Diego Cabrera just dropped the 7.51, one of the biggest waves of the day so far.
Nice.
But as the day progresses, we will see a little bit of an increase in the swell, and you know what, Manny, Praia do Norte never cease to surprise me.
No, this is one of those places that you got to put on your bucket list. If you bodyboard and you want to ride perfect A-frame waves with minimal crowd, check your attitude at the door, show up with respect, and you're going to have an incredible time here. And yes, pack that. For me, I would probably pack a actually, you know what? I have a new wetsuit from Gyro, Mike Stewart, and you know what? That
Nice.
wetsuit, a 3.2, was perfect out here. So if you have sealed seams, if you got one of those new flexible wetsuits that have really hold on to that heat, yeah, 3.2, you can totally get by. Now, I don't know, does it get colder here throughout the winter?
Of course, as the winter keeps on cooling down our waters here in Portugal, I would advise a 4.3, especially if you wake up on those early mornings here in the west coast, and if it's offshore, that's why the reason we go out to sea usually when it's offshore. Nowadays, I bring a Woody because I become a very old man.
Well, I mean, whatever you have to do to be able to surf these perfect waves, I totally suggest it. Booties, gloves, even hoodies, because this wind is cold right now. My feet are frozen. I got 2 blocks of ice on each one of my feet. Now, let's bring you up to speed. Out in the water, heat number 1 of round number 4. Uri Valadão in black, Maxime Castillo in white, and Diego Cabrera in yellow. And this is where they stand.
Yeah, Yuri Valadão is in the lead on the strength of an 8.25 and a 6.75, with leaving to second place Diego Cabrera, the fellow in yellow in your screen, and he just posted a 7.5 and a 6.5, so he's taking that second place position, advancing position as well, and being eliminated at the moment would be Maxime Castillo, the rider in white He is on the strength of a 5.5 and a 4.9, as you can watch on your screen. And he now needs 8.51 to take away that second place from Diego Cabrera. And if he wants to go all the way to the top, first place position in this heat, he needs a 9.51.
Totally possible with these conditions. I mean, we saw the likes of Uri Valadao clocking in an 8.25, and that wasn't a massive wave either. It was a medium-sized wave, but it was just super clean, and he rode it perfectly. So that's just a little glimpse at what is possible. And we do have the Golden Boom on standby for those 10-point rides, but it looks like it does have a little mold on it. Some of the green is coming through the Golden Boom. But, yeah, here we go, up and ready. It is Uri Valadao streaking off the bottom, ton of speed, but just couldn't get up to the lip quick enough.
Almost he got on that end section on time. Unfortunately for Uri, he needs to pedal out the back and get to position as the waves still roll through, and we have a little bit more than 2 minutes for this E10, and we can watch Maxime Castillo waiting patiently out the back, trying to find that 8.51.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nazare Pro here on Praia del Norte in Nazare, Portugal. And let me tell you something, this place is amazing, but it is wide open to the raw elements of nature. And we've been on hold pretty much for 35, 40 minutes at the beginning of the call at 1 p.m. And we had to hold steady, waiting for the fog to lift. And once it was showing that it was going to lift, it was game on. And we started with this first heat. Coming up next in heat number 2 of round number 4, it is stacked. 2 South Africans and 1 Brazilian. One of the South Africans, former world champion. The other South African looking for his first world title, and that is Ian Campbell.
Wow, the second heat alone of this round 4 is just stacked, and we'll have 2 South Africans battling out against Eder Luciano. No strange to a World Stage competition, Eder Luciano, and he's capable of beating those 2 in a heartbeat, and the other 2 riders are capable of beating Eder Luciano in a heartbeat as well.
Look at this, Nunito, look at this. That rip current is just flaring up and just pulling. It looks like a river. Look at that. Stopped paddling and gone. What happens?
Looks like a reef break.
When the tide starts changing, you're going to get these types of rip currents here in Praia del Norte, and that was insane. He's totally out of the screen. I believe that was Uri Valadao. It looks like a river. These rip currents, they do not pull you under. They just pull you out. There's a myth that the ocean rip currents pull you down, and you may have that sensation if you go under a wave in a rip current, but all it's doing is a current pulling out back to the ocean, because you have all this energy rushing up onto the beach. It needs a way back out to the ocean, and that's by way of a rip current. So
do not fight it. Just let yourself go. You try to fight it and swim back into shore. You'll probably spend all of your energies there.
And that's the thing. If you're watching right now, if you're a novice or a beginner bodyboarder, to get out of a rip current, don't fight it. Just paddle parallel with the beach, up and right in. It looks like Diego Cabrera currently in that second place position, looking for a section to hit, and there it is.
Wow.
Big ARS. Oh, my goodness. That was insane. So Diego Cabrera and Uri Valadao looking very solid in this first heat of the day. Oh, my. Wow. There he is giving prayers to whoever's up top. That is Diego Cabrera looking very solid. Look how strong and focused he is.
That was a great finish for Diego.
Slow down, Diego. Slow down. You want to save that energy. But look at the timing right here. Let's just see how perfect that ARS, air roll spin from Diego Cabrera. The projection was perfect. The landing was perfect. Diego Cabrera may jump into that first place spot.
And he did, because the wave score just dropped as a 9. And Diego Cabrera takes the lead in that heat. Another excellent score. Just on the first heat of the round 4 here at the men's division, and we can watch the winner of that heat, Diego Cabrera, just taking out his fins. Great work by Diego, and also Uri Valadao. Unfortunately for Maxime, he will be stuck in a 9 equal place result.
So that was the end of heat number 1, round number 4, the men's division. That was incredible. So it looks like we are going to get heat number 2 underway, and we'll be back right after this. All right, looks like, you know what, we're going to hold off on the commercials as we
Good
bring you
call.
right now. Jared Houston, I believe, in the black jersey, punches through the lip. Nice roll right there, landed perfectly. Did he come out in front of the wave? I believe he was in front of the wave, and that was a completed maneuver. So lucky that we had a little stall right there for the commercials. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Intervened on behalf of
And we are back here, day number 6 of the 2017 Nazare Pro. Out in the water, we have 2 South Africans, Jared Houston and Ian Campbell, current rankings leader, and Eder Luciano battling out in the heat number 2, round 4.
Perfect timing right now. We do have the winner of that first heat of the day with an incredible performance right off the bat from the Canary Islands. We do have Diego Cabrera with Vilma. Vilma, take it away.
Thank you, Manny. Yes, we do have here Diego. How was it out there? Very focused, as usual. In the last minutes, that brutal wave. Tell me all about it.
The wave's been really good. Powerful wave. You have to be a little bit lucky to get the wedge one, the one that didn't close. And yeah, the wave's been good. There is power wave. I like this, and I'm happy. I'm stoked to pass my heat.
Thank you so much. We are stoked with your performance too. You want to leave a message?
Yeah, say hello everyone, support me. Who don't support me, hello too. Yeah, you make me stronger, so yeah, thank you everyone. See you later.
Okay, back to the water, back to action.
Wow, the focus right now. I don't even want to look over there, but you know, he is focused, he is hungry, and he wants another win under his belt. That win in Itacochara earlier this year just set him on fire.
He's a world title contender once again this year in the APB World Tour. And man, I'm a fan of Diego Cabrera. He's one of those guys that has that natural talent to be in the water and ride a bodyboard. And if you give him a slight chance and opening, it will beat you. It will beat you in style. And he did so in that first heat. It finished with his last wave seconds away from the ending of that heat. And he just took it out with a 9-point. Beautiful ride. Amazing ARS move there. Landed so smoothly and the judges loved it.
Yeah, this is going to come down to the wire right now. It was Udi Valadao and Diego Cabrera moving out of that first heat, and both of them are on
riding
the
Sonny
hunt.
Manny.
Here we go.
This is Ian Campbell. Here he
Oh,
goes.
my.
Whoa.
Hold on. No.
That was too much of a flat and extension there. That's why maybe Ian was not able to hold on to his board. Ian's got those moves on lock, but this time it was too much of a flight, and the landing got got a little bit harder to go there.
It looked like the way he hit the lip was just a little off. It just sent him the wrong way. And you're going to have that on the lefts because it is a north wind. The wind is coming out of the north, and it's actually opening up the lefts a little bit more wider. And here we go. That is Jared Houston on the left. Look how much speed. Has a little bit of texture, has a little bit of wobble, but he's able to maintain that speed and punch through with a roll. Jared Houston, consistency will pay off.
Oh, definitely. This is the second wave for Jared Houston. He just dropped a 5-point on his first roll, and this wave was one of the biggest waves in this heat so far. And let's see if the judges deem that score better than his first wave. Meanwhile, we have Eder Luciano up and riding.
Eder
Opting to go left.
Luciano. Nice speed, ton of speed, big roll, lands out on the face of the wave, but this time it is Eder that will pull it off. So, wow, Ian Campbell unfortunately did not pull off his move. Hopefully he does move forward if he wants that title here. That was a nice air roll from the Brazilian Eder Luciano. Ian Campbell has his hands full right now. He's facing off with the former world champion and Eder Luciano, who is hungrier than ever to have a win under his belt here at the Nazare Pro.
Now, for sure, he's got a lot to work in this heat as the wave of the rider in white, Eder Luciano, and Jared Houston just dropped. Jared Houston dropped the 6 points, and Eder Luciano on his first wave. The wave which we saw was a 7 points. Ian Campbell, fortunately, not landing his air roll, which for me was the best roll out of this riders wave exchange. And unfortunately, he did not land that move and was just deemed a 2-point ride there. So at the moment, Jared Houston is leading this heat, but still 18 minutes to go, Manny.
Wow, okay, so we're taking a look at the leaderboard right now, and it is just incredible. I'm looking at the top 7. Each one of them, except for Roberto Bruno, who came into this event 5th, has a chance for a world title. Look at this. Here's another look at Eder Luciano. Clean roll. As you can see, the air just got wind of his board and kept him a little bit more in the air, a little bit more flotation than normal, as that's how much wind is blowing here. But Eder Luciano pulling that off, and a solid score dropping for Eder Luciano on a bigger size wave, 7-point ride. Now back to the leaderboard. On top, it is Ian Campbell. On his tails is PLC, and right behind PLC is Uri Valadao. Those three are the ones that are looking really, really solid for a world title race. But look at this. Here we go. It is Ian Campbell coming around that section. He knows to pull something off. Nice, clean roll. Lands perfectly and goes for another roll. 2 perfect rolls on that wave. Now he's back in the game. That's what he needed.
Yeah, it really needed this wave, at least to feel confident enough to still believe that he can advance to the quarterfinals, as he has one of the best riders in the world to struggle in this heat. As we watch the replay, nice roll there, a little bit of a medium-sized wave from the big sets we've seen so far in this day number 6, but he did perform 2 rolls on the same wave. And let's see what the judges think of that one, Manny.
You know what? It wasn't a big size wave. You saw the whitewash coming up the face of the wave, so it was in that medium size. And I think the judges may not give them those 6s or 7s, but you never know. I mean, those were 2 nice rolls, but again, it was a smaller wave that may pinch him in the butt. So out on the water. Again, welcome everybody. Round number 4 out on the water, heat number 2. Top 2 riders will advance on out of this heat and go on into the quarterfinals. These are 25-minute heats. Top 2 rides are scored, and the riders are able to paddle out into the water at that 5-minute mark if you're in the next heat. So that gives them a little bit of time to get in the water and get rolling as soon as the heat previous has started. And we do have a priority system in place.
Yes, we do, and that means the rider with priority number 1 will pick and choose any wave that he wants, and meanwhile up and riding, this was the rider in black, Jared Houston, going for another roll, keeping busy in this heat and trying to improve his leadership in this heat.
Eder Luciano dropping in on this one, ton of speed, finds a section, nice invert, what? Lands that perfectly. You saw how much air he had. He's going to ride this double section into the shore break and then kick out, but man, I don't think he knew how high he was. He was prepared for impact at least 3 feet before he actually landed. Eder Luciano gets some serious air on that big invert, so solid wave for Eder Luciano, but it is Ian Campbell. He's got to hit the gas right now. If he wants to seal up the deal here, he has to make it into the final, and he has to win the event.
Yeah, definitely. And Ian Campbell's two-roll combo wave just came out as a 5.5. And this last wave of Eder Luciano that we were watching the APB replay on now, he finds a nice bull that off at the right hand and tweaks his board into a really nice invert. You can see his legs flying away from that wave. And I think this is going to be a great score. And second wave for Eder Luciano probably will make him jump into first place in the second heat, round 4, Manny.
All right. Yes. Thank you all again for tuning in. Coming up next in the next couple heats, we do have yellow up and riding. Ian Campbell on the left pulls into the pocket.
Oh,
Can he
my
come
God.
out? There he is. And he comes out with a roll. A deep barrel ride for Ian Campbell. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what he needed. That is going to put him back in contention to be in that first and second place position. That was incredible. Nunito.
This is what makes a world champion. Almost halfway through this heat, Ian Campbell just finds two waves and probably will jump in from third place into first place, and all the riders will just have to scratch their heads and try to understand what's going on, because we got the leader of the rankings of the men's division here in the APB World Tour just found a screamer as he drives through this barrel in the APB replay, and he's able to come out with a roll on that bull. And wow, this is going to be an excellent score. And I don't know, we're probably going to get the golden boom if a 10 drops, but we're no judges here in the booth. And we'll add for that one as half of this heat just went through 12 minutes, 30 seconds to go, Manny.
I was starting to lose a little bit of faith for Ian Campbell, but then I realized these are 25-minute heats, and he just pretty much slapped me in the face with that incredible ride. So apologies to Ian Campbell. That was a pretty solid ride. And, I mean, you're right. We're not judges here. We have a professional panel of judges that travel around with the APB Tour, and they've been spot on. And so big shout out to our judges and head judge Chico Garitano from Brazil holding it down. And Ian Campbell, let's go back to the race, the world title race. Ian Campbell, if he wins here and PLC does not end up in the final with him, then we will have our new 2017 world title winner.
Oh, my God.
If Ian Campbell doesn't make the final, I believe the race will go into the last event of
the year
in Canary Islands.
The
and that is
Fronton King.
Yeah, so that's it. Woo, man.
Oh, man, so much
It's exciting.
action. And I think we just heard the scores drop for the bright and yellow. Ian Campbell, and he dropped his previous wave was a 7.65.
Oh, my.
And that last wave that you saw from Ian Campbell is what, Manny?
A 9.5. So Ian Campbell, in the last 3 minutes, was able to go from third place straight into first place with his last two rides. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the consistency that he is after. So he is pumped right now. So South Africa, if you are tuning in live, make sure you share this live feed, because you got two South Africans in this heat. And Brazilians, if you're watching, actually in Portuguese, let the Brazilians know that we have one Brazilian moving on and we can have another one, but they need their support. Now is the time to tune in.
Ok, todos os brasileiros que estiverem a assistir aqui ao vivo, este é o dia número 6 do Nazare Pro e temos o Eder Luciano de branco nesta segunda bateria de ronda número 4 da divisão masculina, e o Eder encontra-se agora em segundo lugar. E ainda estamos à espera das últimas notas das ondas do Eder e vamos ver se ele melhora a sua situação nesta bateria, mas neste preciso momento Eder está em segundo, Ian Campbell está em primeiro, e agora é o Jared Houston, que liderava a bateria, que está a necessitar de um 7.16. Like I was saying in Portuguese, we have a Brazilian rider in this heat, Eder Luciano in the white, occupying the second place position, and leading this heat is Ian Campbell, the fellow in yellow. Now the man in black that was leading this heat for almost 10 minutes just got relegated into third position, Manny, needing a 7.16 to take away that second place.
Here we go,
position.
live action out the back, in and out of that wave. Not much there for our rider in black, Jared Houston. So Jared Houston already has a world title under his belt. 2015 is when the South African brought home. And look at this, out the back, once again, Ian Campbell. Ton of speed, but a little bit of warble, a little bit of wobble on that backwash. Going up the face of the wave, so not much there for Ian Campbell. It is Eder Luciano with priority, and look at these waves stacking up out the back here at Praia do Norte.
How good was the call from the APB to hold on the event and wait for this new swell.
Look at
and
this.
This is Ian Campbell up and riding once again. Maybe shifting the position inside the water, but up and riding. This is Eder Luciano, sorry.
Nice clean bottom turn, maintaining that speed, going for an ARS. What? He landed that perfectly and slid right into the power and maintained that speed and does a roll all the way to the sand. And answering back, it is Jared Houston. Look at this barrel
Rolling into
ride,
the
stays
barrel.
open. This thing, he's going to stay wide open. The South African hitting the brakes and goes for a roll at that end section. Can he pull it off? No. So possibly another big score for
What
the
is
South
going
Africans.
on here? Heat number 2.
His fin came off, and he's going to readjust right there. But, I mean, these lefts are staying wide open. This north wind is hitting inside of the wave, keeping the wave staying wide open. And Ian Campbell all by himself when these waves look at that one. Are you kidding me?
Just riding alone here in front of the structure. Man, I'm so pumped up at the moment. This has been an incredible day number 6 so far. Look, another left just barreling there, and Pride are not delivering the goods. And we'll have to wait for this last scores of the rider in white and also the rider in black finding a barrel, Jared Houston. Maybe we can see each situation, but yeah, these guys are performing like madmen, and they really want to advance, Manny.
Well, Ian Campbell right now, he is looking really good with priority, with the lead, with 7 minutes to go. He can sit and wait for the better waves to come through. So, I mean, if I was Ian, I would just hold on. Here's another look at the wave exchange.
Eder Luciano going for a nice, clean, super clean ARS there.
Yes.
He just turns that move and keeps his speed and finding that end section, going for a roll and taking the wave all the way into the shore. That will be an excellent wave to be at here. I'll not say score. That's up to the judges. And Jared Houston just came on the wave out the back and found that beautiful barrel. And we left to wait on the scores on that one. And a little less than 7 minutes to go on this heat. What is going on, Manny?
All right, so this is it. Scores are dropping right now. We're going to give it a second. But, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you all for tuning in. And if you're on our Facebook live feed, that's where we can see your comments. And if you wanted a shout out, now's the time to just let us know where you're tuning in from. And I'd love to know what time it is from your location, just so we can give an idea on how crazy you really are. Look at this thing from Jared Houston staying wide open. And you can see right there, he dropped his legs and was able to slow down, but I think he hit the brakes just too much and didn't have enough speed to drive that roll up and over. So Jared Houston, a solid score. And if he would have pulled that roll, that was probably the Golden Boom 10-point ride.
Wow, it just scooped under that lip on the left, and there's just tons of speed there, and he was able to find exit out of that barrel. Excellent ride there.
Spud Johnson from Cornwall tuning in. Zay is also tuning in. He says hello, Nunito. Andrew's tuning in from Cape Town, South Africa. It's 4 p.m. Going for the South Africans, I'm sure. Ian Campbell. Andrew's in the East Coast, North Carolina. John Ho tuning in. Javier's tuning in from Puerto Rico. What's up? Jason Ricky, of course, tuning in from Costa Rica. Brian, what up, dog? Liam is tuned in at almost 1 a.m. Newcastle. Mencho, ¿cómo estás, hermano? Jackson in West Oz. Sam, I think Jackson was with the boys. Jock is in the South Africa. Javier, what's up, brother? We got Wesley also tuning in. Scott, what up? He's out there with the boys. Live action. Here we go.
Up and riding Ian Campbell, the fellow in yellow, finding the barrel. Will he find the exit?
Are you kidding
Look
me?
at this beautiful, amazing drone shot here at Praia do Norte. The guys on the live webcast doing a great job. This is Jerry Houston having a look at this wave, opting not to go, and out the back, more sets approaching, Manny.
Wow, I think Ian Campbell got a little excited. He could have had one of these bad boys if he just waited. Look at these things. Biggest waves of the day rolling in right now. Beautiful shot of the drone, from the drone. And look at them just stacked out the back. There's 2, 3 waves coming in, and Jared Houston making his way back out. Eder Luciano, he is the sole rider on the outside who will have an opportunity to get one of these monster waves rolling in. And Jared Houston making his way back. Eder Luciano turning around. Eder Luciano
up and riding. He has a right-hander in front of him. Let's see what he can do. He needs a 7.76 to get to that second place position. Goes for an invert, but got stuck a little bit on that projection as his board just jumped out of that face wobble of the way, but up and riding.
Jared Houston, no, that's Ian Campbell down the beach, finds a section. Oh, exit out of there with a dead man body exit, and that was a pretty solid wave, but not much there for Ian Campbell.
Like we said, the waves keep coming through. This is one of the best venues in the World Tour for bodyboarding, and wow, you can see that some excellent scores just dropped in the second heat. And up and riding, this is Jared Houston.
Jared Houston, a ton of speed on this right. Look at this section coming up. Oh, and there he hits it. Oh,
whoa,
my gosh, that was heavy, but he was able to pull off an invert right there. Jared Houston going all in, and that was in the very shallows of this short break wave. Jared Houston holding on and pulling it off.
Commitment and delivery here from Jared Houston, former world champion here, and Ian Campbell leading the rankings this year so far and being putting on a show as well. And even Eder Luciano showing no lack of...
Look at this replay. You can see how heavy that section was. I would not have hit that section, that's for sure. But, man, Jerry knew what he had to do, and he went all in.
Yeah, he knew. He saw Eder Luciano getting the first wave there, and he didn't know what Eder did on that last wave, and he needed to reply to at least try and maintain that second place position, which will allow him to advance into the quarterfinals. And we're just waiting for those last scores to drop. I think in the case of Eder Luciano, that will be much over.
Oh, my goodness! Ian Campbell out of nowhere just skyrocketing an air reverse, but did not have that projection to shoot him out in front of the wave. That came out of nowhere.
Having a blast, Ian Campbell riding his 9 waves ridden so far for Ian Campbell in this heat, 25-minute heat, and looks like the boys are soaking all in as Ian Campbell is leading this heat with a great total combined score.
Wow, it looks like Eder Luciano, the Brazilian, is just getting ganged up on by the 2 South Africans, dropping 7s, 8s, and 9s all day long. But Eder Luciano, he needs an 8.86 to get into that second place spot. And he's comboed if he wants to get into that first place spot. But ladies and gentlemen, we have some action on our hands. And I'll tell you what, heats 3 and 4 in round number 4, they are watching. The riders in those heats are watching what is happening out in the water. And I know for a fact they're going to want to go bigger and they're going to want to go badder.
Imagine we'll have on the next heat Alex Uranga, Alan Munoz, and Antonio Cardozo, local man here at Praia do Norte. They're going to put on a show. Up and riding. Meanwhile, this is Ian Campbell. There we go. He's having a blast.
Oh, my. He did not pull it off on the right, but here he is pulling it on the left. Air reverse through the lip. That's how much speed he had going into that maneuver. He's looking at his watch, realizing that there's less than a minute remaining, and he is, you know what, I think he may have eaten 100 pounds of food yesterday because he knows that today could be a long day. And there he is, Ian Campbell, looking solid. Here's another look. Look how much speed he has going towards the lip. Ton of speed, and that speed is what enabled him to be able to punch through the lip and perform that perfect air reverse.
7.4, and Ian Campbell just put on a clinic here, and just letting everyone know we're at day 6 of this event that he means business, and he wants to keep that leader position in the rankings this year. And out the back, this is Eder Luciano, last chance to post a 8.86. Let's see what he can do.
Eder going for anything possible on that oncoming section and goes for an air reverse, and right there he knows that is the end of the road. But Ian Campbell was sleeping in the beginning of this heat, and all of a sudden just came out firing at minute 12. So Ian Campbell, oh my, he may just very well walk away with a world title if he keeps this consistency going. But it was the two South Africans, Ian Campbell and Jared Houston, taking out the sole Brazilian in this heat. And there they are, chatting it up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more action. You know what? Hold steady. Hold steady. We got heat number 3 standing, and it looks like standing by.
Yeah, we'll have Antonio Cardoso, local man here at Praia do Norte, in heat number 3. But now we're going to take it to a commercial and be right back after this.
No one intervened on behalf of...
Welcome back, everybody, and I will stop. I will never again doubt Ian Campbell for having a slow start to a heat, because he pretty much slapped me in the face at minute 12 and came back firing. Look at this, live action. Heat number 3, out in the water, drop it in. Nice, clean drop in, using his legs to slow down and maintain his control of the speed. That was Alex Uranga in black, out in the water in white, Alan Munoz, and Antonio Cardoso in yellow. And it looks like we do have the winner of the last heat with Vilma. Vilma, take it away.
Thank you, Manny. Yes, indeed. We have Ian here. What an amazing 20 minutes out there. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it was a pretty slow start to the heat. It kind of seemed like there weren't going to be any waves coming through, and then all of a sudden it just turned on, and it's pumping out there. That's like, man, some of the best Nazare I think I've surfed, so just so stoked to be able to compete in this.
So it was the best choice to restart today, and probably we will end today. So we're going to have an amazing action day. So do you want to leave a message for our viewers and for your family?
Yeah, just thanks for everyone staying tuned. It was a long 2 days that we had here without any waves, so thanks for sticking with us, and look forward to the day ahead. There's definitely 10-point ride out there, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Back to you guys.
All right, so Ian Campbell looking solid, marching on into the quarterfinals. He will be going head-to-head with, I believe, the winner of, or second place in that first heat, and that was Uri Valadao. So
Yes.
that will be coming up next.
Well, what a
in the
great battle.
quarterfinals.
Some of the most on-point riders in this year so far, at least on the last events, because both of those riders just make podiums on the last 2 events. But getting back, we just saw a wave of Antonio Cardoso, the rider in yellow. It did find a nice barrel there and was able to go all the way into the end section and perform an invert. Unfortunately, it got stuck on the landing,
right.
and that score just came out as a 4-point. We did see Alex Uranga caught a right-hander at the beginning of this heat, but he didn't find that section that he was looking for, so he got was deemed a 1 point. Going back to the last heat, in 25 minutes, how does Ian Campbell ride 10 waves, Manny?
You know what? He just got he has a ton of power, and you know what? I think it might have something to do with being part of the media crew and also being a swimmer that his mom puts together at the Dolphin Mile surf swim down in South Africa. So I think it's the energy from the swimming, the coaching from his mom in swimming, and all of that put together is just one solid package coming out of South Africa by the way of Ian Campbell.
Yeah, all of the riders confessed to me a couple of years ago that probably Ian Campbell is the best paddler in the tour. He's got so much power in his paddling, and he's able to catch any wave, and he did catch 10 waves, which makes an average of a wave every 2.5 minutes. You need to count paddling back out there and getting a breather and assess yourself to catch that next wave. It's incredible.
Well, the beauty about Nazare, Praia del Norte here on the north side of this point is that it breaks pretty close to shore. So that's one thing that a lot of riders can do. They can catch a wave and be back out into the lineup, within a few minutes. And we may have to get the jet ski guy to get that kayaker a little bit of help as he's caught in that rip current. But that's it. The waves do break close to shore, and they are able to get back out there and get wave after wave in a short amount of time. So I want to give a shout out and props to Damien Alexander and the entire VBC, the Vintage Bodyboard Collectors and Collective crew. They have an incredible Facebook page. If you haven't been there yet, check it out. I did post something over there too, just to say, hey, we got this thing going down, so make sure you tune in. Tim is tuning in, as well as Nigel, and I think Nigel's blaming me that he's going to have a late night on the East Coast of Australia. That's not my fault.
Keeping people up throughout the early morning.
Live action. Coming around this section. Can he make it around? He does make it around, but not much there, and I believe that was Alan Munoz finally getting his first wave after 7 minutes of waiting.
Yeah, and you can see this foam just washing on the sand as we see some amazing sets out the back. I think this probably was one of the big sets of the day as well. And we'll see the rider in black. I think this is Alex Uranga opting to go to the left this time.
Ooh.
Oh, so much bounce on that wave, and he kicks out of that thing. And out the back is Antonio Cardoso. Oh, look at this waves, Manny.
Look at the rip current just ripping out to the ocean, and it's disrupting a little bit, but if you catch it on the left, just to the side of that rip current, it's just going to reel all along the sandbar here in Praia del Norte. And we just saw a couple 9-point rides in that last heat being had. So a 10-point ride, definitely possible here in the early afternoon of the Nazare Pro.
Easily, and we saw Diego Cabrera even dropping a 9 on the first heat of this round 4. And excellent scores are on the offer here at the Praia del Norte. And even the right-handers have been offering some great pulls. We saw Ian Campbell attempting a huge air reverse, unfortunately not landing. So lefts and rights on offer here at Praia del Norte. Day number 6, Nazare Pro. Go into the Facebook page and let us know where you're watching from and what time is it. Manny Vargas here in the booth will give that shout out right back to you wherever you're watching. And go to apbtour.com. That's the official website for the World Tour. But meanwhile, up and running, I think this is Antonio Cardoso, local man here.
Antonio Cardoso, look at this. Oh, it comes out of that nice clean barrel. Nice carve. Get back into the power zone. Goes for a roll. Can he pull out? And he does. That was a solid ride right there for Antonio Cardoso, and you can hear the crowd erupting. This is his backyard. This is his home break.
Wow, Antonio Cardoso looking really focused in this event, and he really wants to take this one. It's been a dream of his to win a World Tour stage at his local home break, but we see out the back, up and riding. I think this is Alex Uranga. There's a little bit of glare from the sun there. It does not help us to watch, but this is the APB replay of Antonio's last wave, Manny.
Look at that. Perfectly executed bottom turn, scoops in under the pocket and gets a nice clean barrel. And to get back into that power zone, he does a nice carve and pulls this wave off, ends it with a roll. Antonio Cardoso looking very solid. And I got a chance to talk to Antonio and Miguel Adal, the Portuguese who's due up next in heat number 4. And both of these riders, they've been groomed for this. I mean, they've won a combined total of maybe 10 junior world titles put together. I mean, both of these guys are competitors, and both of them love the big stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Especially Antonio Cardoso will feel very comfortable here at his own break as we watch the APB replay of the last wave of Alex Uranga. That roll got a little bit stuck there. There was not the best section, but yeah, Alex Uranga, posting his best score so far in the heat. Still waiting for that score to drop. Alan Munoz now up and riding, finding a roll at the end section of this wave. Is he able to pull in front? And he does, all the way into the shore here at Praia do Norte, and he needs to get back to his feet and get back out there.
Si están viendo desde Chile o Sudamérica, ahí va Alan Muñoz en blanco. Aquí estamos en ronda número 4 y él necesita, aquí tenemos 14 minutos antes que termina esta batería, y ahí es que necesita más puntos ahorita porque Alex Uranga y Antonio Cardoso, ellos son muy difíciles.
Sí, sin duda, Antonio Cardoso ha apostado un 8,25 y ahorita Alan Muñoz se queda en segundo porque su última ola ha sido 4,5. Last wave of Alan Muñoz, a rider in white, 4.5, currently occupying second position, and Antonio Cardoso just dropped a 25 with that barrel to cutty and roll combination and is in the lead right now.
Yeah, I mean, we got 13 minutes to go, and we saw what Ian Campbell can do in these last 12 minutes. Now, what can these riders do in heat number 3? So the quarterfinals are stacking up. We've already have the first 2 quarterfinals already situated. We're going to see in quarterfinal heat number 1, Diego Cabrera going head-to-head against Jared Houston. In heat number 2, Ian Campbell versus Uri Valadao. So those 2 heats are ready, but we still have to go through this heat and heat number 4.
Heat number 4 will bring the likes of current world champion Pereira Luis Costas, Jacob Romero, the flying machine from Hawaii, and local man Miguel Adão battling out for the last 2 positions into the quarterfinals, but still to be decided. It's this quarterfinal number 3, round number 3.
Nice clean bottom turn. Not much there as far as a barrel, but was able to pull off a lip maneuver, coming in inside, going for another roll. And will they drive out in front of that whitewash? No, that was Alex Uranga, but that will be one of his best rides. Look at this, out the back, under the lip, under the pocket, and comes out. That is Alan Munoz. He needs this ride and ends it with a perfect arrow roll. Lands soft and in front of the wave. Probably the highest score of the heat, right up there with Antonio Cardoso's 8.25. Alan Munoz from Chile holding it down.
Out of these 3 riders, Alex Uranga is in the best position in the rankings in this year so far, but Alan Munoz and Antonio Cardoso wanting to advance into those positions in the ranking, climbing up the rail in the ranking, and we can watch the replay of last wave of Alan Munoz pulling into that barrel, coming out quite nicely and going for the roll in the end section and driving that way all the way to the sand. And this is going to be a great score for Alan Munoz. He currently sits in second place. I think struggling a little bit is Alex Uranga. Even his last wave of 2 rolls, not completing the second roll, was not that expressive. And Antonio Cardoso needs to back up that 8.25 if he wants to keep on dreaming of winning this event. But he's still got a lot of competition ahead of him, Manny.
Alan Munoz, we all can remember that ginormous, that huge air that he pulled off, or almost pulled off in Arica.
I sent him a personal message saying it was absolutely mental there.
No, if he would have pulled that air off, he would have not only won the heat, he would have won the entire event. So this guy is not holding back at all.
Oh,
Alan
for sure.
Munoz looking very solid. Alan Munoz, 7.75. Here's another look at the wave exchange. That was Alex Uranga with a roll on the outside and was able to find another section on the inside, but could not pull this one off. And that was Alex Uranga in the black jersey getting a 5.5 on that wave.
Yeah, and the last wave of Alan Munoz just dropped that barrel to roller combo. Just came out as a 7.75 7-5, and none of this heat so far has not seen an excellent score. And Antonio Cardoso making sure that happens. This is the replay of last wave of Alex Uranga once again. That 5.5 that just dropped as his last wave, and currently in first position, Antonio Cardoso on the strength of a 8.25 and a 4-point wave. Well, probably need to back up that 8.25 if he wants to maintain that lead, but just right after him is Alan Munoz.
Taking a look at this one, no paddling with second priority. And if Alan Munoz was on the outside, that may have switched over, but we don't see Alan in our screen here. It did switch over, so now Alan Munoz with second priority, but it won't matter because up and riding, Alex Uranga coming around this section, big section, nice invert, lands it right before coming up into the sand, and this is how close they are riding up onto, pulling these maneuvers off. Where he landed, easily maybe 2 feet, 3 feet deep, and nothing else but solid sand right under that. So all these riders going nuts on these perfectly peaks here on Praia del Norte. Big shout outs coming up. If you are watching live, please leave a comment and let me know where you're tuning in from.
APB replay there of the last wave of Alex Uranga. Nice tweaked invert, and we'll wait for that last score. And up and riding, this is Alan Munoz opting to go to the right hand once again as well.
Oh!
Reverse attempt there, but off the way through the landing, he ditches his board and ejects there. I don't think he got that height it was looking for, but out the back, still waiting patiently for his third wave is Antonio Cardoso holding on to that first priority. Let's see what he can pull off of his sleeve here.
Yes, so this is it. We are in heat number 3, round number 4. Top 2 riders will advance on into the quarterfinals, and then we will go head-to-head in quarterfinals. Right now, we have the first 2 heats lined up. Diego Cabrera going head-to-head with Jared Houston. Heat number 2, Ian Campbell versus Udi Valadao. That will be coming up next, but we still have the remainder of this heat. 8 minutes to go in heat number 3. And heat number 4, finishing off round number 4, we're going to see PLC versus J-Rom versus Miguel Adao.
Wow, what a great battle still to go. And this first round of the day, which is round number 4 here on day 6 of the Nazare Pro. And if a rider wants to take away the win here, it still have to go through more 4 heats. Manny, what do you have?
All right, well, oh man, everybody's tuning in right now and dropping comments. So let's start from the top. Here we go. Nathan is in Scotland. Joao, he is going for To. And Dune is in Dubai. Olivo is in, I don't know where he's from. Max is tuning in from Santiago, Chile. So if you are writing a comment, let me know where you're tuning in from. Alex is in Wales, UK. Thank you for tuning in, brother. And now is a good time to drop those comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you can, now is the time to click on share if you're watching on our YouTube, on our app.com, apptour.com /live, and on our Facebook page. Click share. So now it is happening. Elias, what's up, brother? Pura vida. He's tuning in from Costa Rica in Jaco. Go visit him at El Bana Surf Shop. Jandre, South Africa. Sam is in Bali. We do have Noise C in Barcelona. Gonzalo is in Argentina. Y Javier, what's up, brother? Tiago tuning in as well. Quinn, what's up in South Africa? Christopher in Dallas, Texas. Yeehaw! Hold it down, brother. And Matias also tuning in as well from Villa del Mar, Chile.
Yes, and thank you guys for tuning in from all over the world. This is a worldwide affair here, the APB World Tour. We're at Nazare right now, Portugal that is, and the West Coast, like slightly in the center of Portugal's West Coast. And it's been an incredible day number 6 so far, and we're dropping excellent scores throughout all the heats in round 4, which is currently on display on your screen. This is heat number 3, and we'll still have, like you mentioned, Manny, Pierre-Louis Costas, Jacob Romero, and Miguel Adon coming up next. And we're going to move through to the quarterfinals.
I think the decision will be made shortly, but for sure we're going to see heat number 4 coming up next. PLC and J-Rom, oh my goodness, if you think that is going to be incredible, throw in a hungry, young Portuguese rider, Miguel Adao, everybody's going to go skyward. Everybody's going to want those 10-point rides, and that's going to be fun to watch. If you're watching on our Facebook Live, now press share. I want to see that 212 shares go up to at least 500 before we finish off today's competition. So,
and why is
share.
that share so important, Manny?
Well, what happens is when you share, not only are you going to be able to have everybody see it on yours, but it'll start just a momentum, like a snowball effect where people will start sharing down the line. And next thing you know, we'll have 500 shares in no time, up and riding.
Alex Uranga opts to go to the left-hand side here, but unfortunately, the wave just races so fast through the line, and he's got stuck on the closeout there. And out the back, this is Alan Munoz having a look at this left-hander, Manny.
Oh, my. Look at this. Alan Munoz finding the barrel. Nice, clean barrel. It warbles. It wobbles. Does it stay? And he stays open, and he comes out. Is he going to finish off? He does finish off with a roll.
Wow.
Can he do another one? No, but wow. That wave from Alan Munoz. The crowd has erupted, and out the back, it looks like we do have more waves stacking up. Alan Munoz, oh, doctor. That was
what
incredible.
I'm going to put it out there easily. That's going to be an excellent score once again here in round 4. And Alan Munoz, my God, what a great ride. Great wave selection. He got that wave under the priority of Antonio Cardozo, which Antonio Cardozo was in need of a backup. Let's see what happens still in this heat.
Alex Uranga on the outside. Again, Alan Munoz coming out of another big barrel. That thing just warbled and wobbled as that backwash hit it and opened it up and made it a little tighter, then opened it up again. Then the wind kept it open, and he came out and ended with a roll. So it looks like the score has dropped, a 9.0 for Alan Munoz. Let's take another look.
There he goes. He scoops under that lip and is still driving through multiple sections there. And he finds the exit and he's able to complete that wave with a roll there and kicks out. And that was deemed a 9 point. Another excellent ride. And now Alan Munoz jumps into the lead.
Do you think the judges are being conservative right now?
I think so, and they should be, in my personal opinion, because, like Ian Campbell said on his interview, there's 10-point rides to be had during this day easily, and we'll probably see a lot of golden booms because these guys are looking on point and are hungry for those excellent scores that will allow them to advance because, like I mentioned, we have not yet seen a heat today without an excellent score.
And you know what? I'm going to back you on that only because let's say Antonio Cardoso comes out with a barrel, same type of barrel, but he comes out with a big backflip or a big ARS or a big reverse. Then we're talking into that 9.5, an excellent 10-point ride. So, yeah, I think that 9-point ride is pretty good for Alan Munoz right now. And, yeah, props to the judges.
Yeah, definitely. And we did see a wave for Antonio Cardozo, and that was the last wave of that series of waves that just rolled through here in Praia do Norte, and he just posted a 4.25. It did improve slightly as each situation, but he got relegated to second place after that 9-point of Alan Munoz, and now Alex Uranga is on the hunt for a 6.41 and could take away that second place away from Antonio Cardozo and could probably be a spoiler for the local rider here in Nazare, Antonio Cardozo.
So right now we have a world title hunt on our hands, and it is Ian Campbell who is sitting in that driver's seat leading right now in the scores. And if he can walk away with a win here without having PLC in the final, he may as well have locked it in. But it is PLC, Uri Valadao, Jared Houston, Diego Cabrera, and Alex Uranga who are still competing right now and still have a shot if Ian Campbell loses out in the next heat or two. So there is still a chance for, 6 of the top 7 riders. Here we go, live action, out the back.
This is Alex Uranga, if I'm not mistaken, finding a roll there. Unfortunately, it needed to punch through that heavy lip, and it did pull that move through. Wow, what a great accomplishment in that last ride of the rider in black, Alex Uranga. Not much more than a minute there.
I have no idea how he did that. He was under the lip, in the explosion, and just was in that whitewash that entire time.
I'll just be fighting to get my head off of the water and go for a breath there, as that section was so heavy. But excellent work from Alex Uranga, keeping it real there and trying to achieve that 6-4-1 that will allow him to advance. Unfortunately, I think the score just dropped in is 5.3, only seconds away from the ending of this heat. And that was a great thing to hear. Out the back, Antonio Cardoso was on a very, very tight position there.
Once again, if you're just joining us here at the Nazare Pro, Manny V here and Nunito Cardoso giving you the live feed. And I just got to say, thank you all for tuning in, and I'm stoked that you guys can be a part of this. And you can see Alex Uranga in the foreground. He knows that there's not enough time to get back out there, and right there is just showing that, all right, he threw in the towel. He's in that third place spot. Only thing that could happen is if Alan or Antonio get a penalty on each other. That won't happen.
Nah, and we just aired the buzzard, and that's all she wrote on this heat number 3 of round 4. And let's see if we got commercial lined up, and we'll jump right into number 4. Well, we'll see Pierre-Louis Costes remaining still world champion at the moment, and Jacob Romero and Miguel Adão. Don't go anywhere, as we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Welcome back, everybody. Manny V here with Nunito Cardoso, bringing you the live feed here from Praia do Norte, Nazare, Portugal. And let me tell you, this has been amazing so far. The action is nonstop. We got people getting knocked out, and we got people throwing down 8 and 9 point rides, very close to that perfect score, and it's totally possible.
Of course, we got barrels, we got ramps, both ways, lefts and rights, and the rides is just putting on a show. We can hear clapping for the winner of that last heat was Alan Munoz, finding great rides there and stomping his authority against the local man Antonio Cardoso, and even Alex Uranga just not get knocked out here, and he was the best rider in the rankings in this heat, and he just got knocked out.
Yeah, I think his hopes for a world title this year have been just shut down, ended up in third place in that last heat. Out in the water, ladies and gentlemen, if the sets roll through and these riders get a chance, prepare NASA to hold off on missile strikes, because these guys are going to be in orbit.
Yes, for sure, and prepare that golden boom, because one of the riders in this heat, Pierre-Louis Costes, already obtained a golden boom on the last day of competition that we showed live. And this riders can easily pull that through. And we got as well Jacob Romero on the water, is just a showman and a fly showman, of course. And Miguel Adão is looking really on point, and he's got nothing to lose. He seems so relaxed about his position here in the World Tour that it will probably go for broke.
All right, heat number 4 out in the water. Just to recap, heat number 3, top 2 riders advancing on was Antonio Cardoso in second, and winning that heat was Alan Munoz, and we're setting up the interview shortly. But yeah, Alan Munoz winning that heat, holding it down for Chile, will advance on into quarterfinal number 3. Out in the water, heat number 4 of round number 4, again, Pierre-Louis Costas in black, in yellow, Jacob Romero in white, and in yellow, Miguel Aldao. It looks like we are ready with the winner, Alan Munoz of that last heat with Vilma. Vilma, take it away.
Thank you. Yes, indeed, I'm here with Alan. Felicitaciones, Alan. Muy buenas olas. ¿Cómo fue? Conta.
Muy contento, estuvo bien difícil la ola porque las condiciones se movían a cada instante y bueno, a rato se encuentran olas perfectas y creemos que el que encuentre la ola puede hacer una alta puntuación, así que estuvo bien difícil la cosa adentro, pero por suerte me encontré con buena ola.
Suerte, no solamente la suerte. Y ahora, ¿cuál es tu estrategia para lo próximo, para la semifinal?
Nada, ir mirando atentamente qué va pasando con las condiciones del agua y ver qué hacen los demás competidores adentro para ir intentando imaginar qué puedo hacer en la siguiente ronda. Así que ojalá conectar maniobras fuertes y conseguir altos puntajes.
Seguro que sí. ¿Quieres dejar un mensaje para Chile?
Claro, un saludo a toda la familia, a toda la gente del Tao, a la comunidad chilena, latina. Y nada, enviar harta gratitud a la gente que envía los mensajes, así que es por las vibras.
Thank you so much. Stay tuned. Back to you guys. Back to action.
Happy with that win, and it says that the waves are moving all over the place. As you mentioned, there's a lot of rip, and he had to struggle not only with the riders that he was competing against, but also the waves. But he was able to catch those 2 great waves and even put a 9-point. And as you can see, he was talking about that the conditions were so hard to hold on to the moves, and you can see the amount of wax that he's got on his boards to keep traction on those closing out sections.
I mean, one of his next sponsors should definitely be a wax company because there's a bar of wax on each side of the bottom corners of his board. That was pretty amazing, but that's what it takes. I mean, if you're going to pull off these moves, there's so much power behind the waves. When you land, you want to make sure you'll be able to hold on. Here we go, up and riding down the beach. Into the glare. Wow, very tough for us, but lucky for the judges, we do have a spotter with a walkie-talkie down the beach, letting the judges know in the booth, saying the proper colors and making sure they can see everything that's happening.
Oh, for sure. We got a great team here, and no action is going to be missed. And as you will also do in the live webcast, we just saw during that interview PLC performing a roll on a left-hander, and he just got deemed the 5 points. Now we see Pierre-Louis Costas going for his second wave there, but unfortunately just closed out in front of him, and he paddled out the back. Still, on the outside waiting for the first waves is Jacob Romero and Miguel Adão. Looks like Miguel Adão did paddle for a wave, and now Jacob Romero is holding on to that first priority, Manny.
Well, a little slow start here in heat number 4 of round number 4. So far, PLC holding steady. But we've seen this happen in a couple of the rounds a couple of the heats in this round where there was a slow start, but all of a sudden at minute 12, it was showtime.
Yeah, definitely. We got this new salt has got a lot of period in it, and what it does, the sets will be spread apart, and we'll have to wait for those sets to pile up into the shores of Praia do Norte, but they do deliver, and we've seen some barrels and ramps all over the place, and there's riders that have been taking advantage of these conditions, Manny.
Well, I think our viewers right now watching our Facebook live feed should take advantage of the lull that's happening right now. So if you're watching, dime dónde están mirando, dónde están, y dime el tiempo de dónde están mirando el live feed. También, and if you're watching, let me know right now. We're going to do some shout outs. Let me know where you're tuning in from and what time it is live action. Nunito, where we at?
Yeah, I was able to see the color on that rider there, but unfortunately for him, the ride was a closeout. I think it was Pierre getting busy in this heat, wants to post something on his scoreboard, and at the moment, he's the only one to do so, and it's already more than 8 minutes into this heat, and only one rider just got that wave.
All right, looks like we got some shout-outs coming down the pipeline right now. It is Tafia UK representing the bodyboarders here in Saimu. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Alan Allen finally tuning in. NYC, I don't know if you've been tuning in this whole time, but it's 10:36 a.m. on the East Coast. Shannon is also, he's tuning in. Oh, here we go. Bells Beach, 1:30 a.m. What? Shannon is tuning in. Thank you. Elias, of course. Costa Rica. Thomas Douglas. It is 11:30 a.m. in Chile. We got Kevin Opie, who has some incredible spices that you may want to check out. Opie, I need to order some from you. Tuning in from Lomita, California. That was the replay that you just saw. HG is in Tenerife. It's 3:38. Teresa in Madrid. Hola, Teresa. Gareth Harvey's. What up, brother? And little girl, Rosina, got that just in the time. Danielle is in the Mexico. Tara in South Africa. Lucas in Chile. Fallon in Argentina. Danny, saludos. And Dave, what's up, brother? And one more, Rich Hughes in Wales, UK.
Wow, worldwide affair here as we watch. I think it is Pierre-Louis Costas bringing this wave all the way into the shore. And we did saw a replay of the rider in white that was Jacob Romero performing a nice air reverse there, pulling it in front of the foam, and the judges just deem it as a 6 points, waiting for the last score of the rider in black. That was Pierre-Louis Costas. We'll probably see replay of that one, and still yet to catch his first wave, the fellow in yellow, local man, Miguel Adal.
Yeah, it's a little slow right now, and I think they're doing the right thing. They're getting as many waves, smaller waves, as they can just to get something going, because you don't know if Mother Nature is going to all of a sudden take a 25-minute nap and not deliver any one of those big sets. But I think the riders at this level have been studying and mapping out the time on how often the sets do roll in. So maybe Miguel Adal knows something that we don't.
We're looking out the back, and there's some more waves stacking up, and we'll just having Pierre-Louis Costas not having a go at this one. And there's a little bit of mist, as you can watch on your screen, still present here at Praia do Norte, but it's not slowing down the competition and not the riders as well. Here's the pan shot. You cannot even see the fortress at the moment, Manny.
Yeah, it's getting really, really bright up here. Looks like there was a ride, yeah. I believe so.
It looked like a roll of Pierre-Louis Costas, and he did complete that move. And we'll wait for the score on that last wave. Meanwhile, Pierre is just keeping busy, and 12 minutes already into this heat, and Pierre just found already 5 waves to be ridden, and Jacob Romero holding on to second position as Pierre-Louis Costas is leading, is holding on to second position on the strength of only 1 wave, 6 points. So far, the best wave in the heat, that is, and waiting patiently out the back is Miguel Adão, that I think that he needs to keep busy if he wants to collect 2 scores. And I think we are in the buzzard, and we're going on a stall at the moment. As you can see on screen, the fog just came rushing through Praia do Norte with the presence of this north wind, as you can watch on the flags, just getting beaten by the wind here. And we'll have a stall in the action at the moment. This is heat number 4 of round number 4. We have in the water Pierre-Louis Costas, Jacob Romero, and Miguel Adão, and the fog is not allowing us to complete this heat at the moment, and we are just stalling. What's the word, Manny?
Yeah, I mean, you called it. Right now, the fog just rolled in. You can see the flags on the beach. Just going crazy right now. With the fog rolling in, we did get a little bit more wind, and oh my gosh, so unfortunate. You can see right here the wide angle. The judges need to see past the waves. I mean, if the judges can't see the waves, then they won't be able to, score the riders. So yeah, to be safe, make sure we're all on the same level. We are putting the event on hold, this heat on hold for the moment. The fog can all of a sudden disappear. or
Yes.
it can get heavy. So we're putting this on hold for a second.
Yes, like you mentioned, we do have a spotter, and I think they made a great call to pause this heat as the conditions of visibility, that is, were degrading, and I don't think we're able to see perfectly what the riders were doing out the back. There was no wave mist, and the judges made a great call to stall this heat number 4 of round number 4, and we are pausing at the moment, Manny.
Yeah, right now the time has paused. Riders right now, scores will remain the same. Priority will remain the same. And we're just making sure that we don't miss any of the action and making sure the judges don't miss any of the action. So the heat has been paused right now. And we're going to go perfect time to keep the lights on here in Nazare for us here at the Nazare Pro. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back right after this.
And we just heard the buzzer. We're continuing this heat with 12 minutes and 40 seconds to go. We have in the lead Pierre-Louis Coste, but meanwhile, joining me in the booth, no other than Tessa McKenna. Thanks for joining us here.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nuno. Thanks everyone out there in Webland tuning in for what is a big day of competition here at Pride de Norte. And, well, I tell you what, it looks like Bob Marley's lounge room on a Saturday night there, Nuno. Have a look at that, mate. It's a thick fog, that one. And the competition just was on hold momentarily. We've just resumed this heat. Look, mate, unfortunately, we don't have much room to move here today. Had the competition not gone on hold and had we not started like 10 minutes late, we may have been able to conclude this contest today, but I do fear with that fog coming back in at the moment and these interruptions, mate, that we're going to have to probably look at finishing this thing tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that is a great call as the fog has been coming in and out. And we do have to continue and progress with this event. This is heat number 4 of round number 4. We have in the water Pierre-Louis Costas in black and white Jacob Romero, and in yellow Miguel Adão, the local man. But it's all up to Pierre-Louis Costas leading this one and Jacob Romero in second position.
Yeah, we've had quite a few of the front runners stay in the competition. Of course, we did see Alex Ranga take a dive in a previous heat. So it looks like Alex's aspirations for a world championship in 2017 have come to an end here at Nazare. However, we do have quite a few other guys in the race, including, of course, Ian, who won. PLC's in the water. Yuri put in a great performance, as did Jerry. Roberto's out of the contest. It looks like someone up and riding at the moment.
Looks like Miguel Adão having his first wave. Unfortunately for him, probably that's not the ride he was waiting for patiently out the back. But nevertheless, he's just posting his score on his scoreboard, and that will be the start of his campaign in this heat number 4.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a whiteout, and do apologise to those people at home. It looks pretty much the same here. It's maybe just the camera's picking up the fog a little more than the human eye, but it's a very foggy afternoon. I don't know where this fog comes from. I guess what it is that when the water's really cold here in Portugal, and that it's kind of hot on land, it's just a clash of the air and the water temperatures colliding together, and this is the end result. So, yeah, we've got some front runners still in this. The world title race still well and truly underway. But for now, Pierre-Louis Costas trying to hold on to what looks like a pretty healthy lead at this stage.
Yeah, he kept busy during this half of the heat, and he's already posted 5 waves on his scoreboard, and on the strength of a 5.85 and a 5.5 he's leading currently, but the best wave in the heat is so far on the hands of Jacob Romero, the rider in white, who posted a 6 on his first ride with a completed air reverse, and Miguel Adão just posted a 1 point on that ride that we just saw on this second F of the heat as we paused because of the fog, Terry.
Yeah, it's a real shame. The waves out here at Pride de Norte today are absolutely, just pumping. Gee, there's been some incredible waves ridden. And, had the fog not been here, we would have been putting on a real good show for you people at home. But, such is the nature of pro bodyboarding. Nuno, you've just got to deal with whatever, Mother Nature dishes up. And today we've got perfect waves and fog. As we just got to deal with it.
I'm not complaining. The waves have been pumping throughout this day number 6 since we started this round number 4. And we have not yet seen a heat without an excellent ride. And that's just an amazing feat and proves what the level we have in the water at the moment.
Yeah, it was nice to hear, of course, our ratings leader, Ian Campbell, come in and say that was the best Nazare that he's ever surfed. And he was really keen to proceed here today. And look, the swell is forecast to pick up overnight. Here goes someone up and riding, and what?
PLC.
Well, that's going large on that section. And you can see that high side also pushing the action close to shore. We'll go back out and pick up another rider here, having a little look at this one.
But just skipped out of that wave. It looks like it was going to be a closeout, so he's paddling out the back. And on that first wave, it was the rider in black, PLC, performing a beautiful ARS there and finishing that move. Probably it's going to be the best wave score in this heat so far, and he's going to maintain his lead as we're watching the APB replay, Teza. There was a nice ARS there, and we're waiting for the score on that one. And Pierre-Louis Costas will consolidate his lead in this heat, while the other 2 riders are still on the hunt for their second wave.
Yeah, that's right. Looks like an 8.25. Just heard that from Duda Bira, the beach announcer here in Pride de Norte. But once again, just announcing, folks, there's a pretty strong chance that this might be the last heat of the day.
Yeah, and once again, excellent ride here, confirming that on round 4, all of the heats had an excellent ride at least, And Pierre-Louis Costas was the one to get that excellent score in this heat so far with an 8.25 on his last wave. Great flip there, and it was able to pull that move all the way into the shore as we've been watching through all these heats, and is leading this heat very comfortably. Jacob Romero holding on to priority, Teza.
Yeah, well, Jacob is only needing an 8.11. I say only 8.11 because it is Jacob Romero, and, he's renowned for dropping big numbers like that one. Bit of a quiet heat for Miguel Adal, but, he's got plenty of time with around about 7 minutes remaining in this, what could be the last heat of the day. And looking towards the north there, like a fog-making machine up on the hill there. It just doesn't stop, does it?
Yeah, it comes in and out, and looks like a battle between the sun and the fog. But like you mentioned, Teza, it's that combination of the water temperature and the air temperature that makes this happen.
All right, well, that's looking towards the lighthouse, of course, down towards the south. It's a lot cleaner when you look that way as opposed to looking towards the north. But just a tight little crowd here on the beach here at Praia do Norte this afternoon. That's the lineup here, and we are down to around about 6 minutes remaining. We do have athletes on standby for the next one. Would have been a great matchup between Diego Cabrera from the Canary Islands and South African Jared Houston, of course, living in Puerto Rico these days. And we want to say a big shout out again to the people of Puerto Rico. Our hearts and prayers are with you guys.
Oh, definitely. We're all with you, and it's really unfortunate when Mother Nature just strikes a huge storm in your direction, and we hoping you keep all safe and still gathering and collecting from that huge storm that hit Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I come up with an idea last night. I've got a lot of memorabilia from the old IBA days, all the banners and flags and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Wow.
I'm going to actually put it on. I'm going to put it onto the Vintage Bodyboard page in Australia. I'm going to get people to bid for it, and we're going to give all the money to the people of Puerto Rico or to the fund that we've started up for those guys.
There we have it. APB Operations Manager Teza McKenna putting it all out there. We're not just only about bodyboarding, but we're about a worldwide gathering here in the APB, and we're sending our support through the victims of that huge storm in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I mean, every dollar counts, let's face it, that's for sure. So we're down to around about 5 minutes remaining. Again, PLC is in the lead. He's got an 8.25 and a 5.85, looking to upgrade that second best score. Jacob Romero sitting in second, and Miguel Adal needing, he needs his first good score to come through for the Portuguese rider in yellow. But it looks like a snowstorm out there at the moment. It's a complete whiteout, and I would say that it's going to be pretty much official that this will be the last heat of the day. But you know what we've got tomorrow, Nunito, is a very big swell coming through, and it's going to be incredible action for the viewers. The good news, I was worried the swell was going to be too big and it was going to wash through where we've got the contest set up. We're going to move the truck overnight. We're going to reposition it in the morning because we wouldn't start until, of course, in the afternoon local time tomorrow. And, we'll pick up where we left off in the quarterfinals of this Nazare Pro. But the good thing is that the period, it's all about the period here with the Canyon. And the period tomorrow is dropping dramatically. So whilst we have big swells, we don't have a huge period. So we expect a lot of action wave-wise.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
You can hear, again, the judging tower just blowing that horn multiple times. That means the contest is back on hold with around about 4 minutes remaining. This is a very frustrating heat for the guys in the water.
Oh, definitely. You're on the hunt for a wave and waiting for a wave out the back, and then all of a sudden you're concentrating on that achievement, and you hear the buzzer buzz 3 times, and you know that the heat will be on pause. And, we need to unfold this heat number 4, so we get to know who's going to be on the quarterfinals. And like you mentioned, Teza, we got the first quarterfinal lead being go on the water only tomorrow, unfortunately, but that will be Diego Cabrera, the current number 6 in the world at the moment, against Jared Houston, the current number 4. The great battle just on that first heat alone on the quarterfinals. And then heat number 2 of the quarterfinals will have the current leader, Ian Campbell, and the number 3 in the rankings, Yuri Valadão. And these two guys, for me, is the guys that you need to watch out for, because are the guys that on the last 2 events at podium finishes, and they all look on point. Next, heat number 3 will have still yet to be decided because this heat number 4 is still unfolding.
Yeah, that's right. We'll get those results here shortly. We are on hold here, folks, at the Nazare Pro. Shout out to the people watching online, of course. We've got Diego Vincente. So much fog, hard to give the scores. You're not wrong, mate. In the judging tower, the boys are pretty freaked out. Got Matthew Kitchen checking in and just saying, Pete, whatever, little bit of a subliminal call there. We got Michael Warren saying, nice to hear my voice. Good on you. Good on you, Mickey Warren. And it looks like Robson Salas also tuning in on the APB Facebook page. Nice to hear from you people. Look, we are on hold here at the moment. As we said, big swells coming tomorrow. I guess the mission this afternoon, Danito, is that we just want to conclude this heat that's in the water, and then we'll probably pull up stumps and come back and try again tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. That was our main objective for today, just to finish and fence off this round number 4 as we'll go into finals, which will include the quarterfinals, the semifinals, the podium final, and the grand final. All of the heats in the quarterfinals will have 25 minutes, but once you hit the podium final and the grand final, we'll switch it up into 30 minutes. As we watch in your screen, that is Miguel Adão just discussing the conditions with Alex Leon, CEO of the APB, and Pierre Licostas just patiently sitting on the sand, just waiting to get back into the water and finish those 4 minutes remaining in this heat.
That's right. You can see you saying there's waves out there, and Alex is saying, well, the guys have got to be able to score you. Look what we're going to do. We're going to throw to a quick commercial break here, folks, and we'll be back with more live action from Nazare right after this. Stand by.
Welcome back, everybody. Manny V here with Nunito Cardoso, bringing you the live feed. As you can see, the riders in that heat number 4 of round number 4, they're having a discussion right now, trying to figure out, you know what? There's no discussion. Fog is here, and we have put the heat on hold.
Yeah, at the moment, Fog is winning this one, and against all the free riders left in this 4th heat of round number 4 here in the Nazare Pro, day number 6. And you can see on screen Alex Leon, CEO of the APB, and Tessa McKenna, operations manager, tour manager, discussing the conditions and assessing if we'll be able to finish this heat number 4.
Yeah, this is tough. Not only for the competitors, I mean, waiting and watching all the incredible waves from the previous heats, and all of a sudden their heat starts and the fog decides to roll in. Mentally, probably a struggle as well, as if you're in a good rhythm, like PLC, who has an 8.25 and a 5.85. He wanted to keep that momentum going. And Jacob clocking a 6-point ride, and Miguel Adao, he's the one that's going to have a tough time with 4 minutes remaining and has only one wave, and that one wave a 1-point ride. So mentally, a struggle right now for Miguel Adao. Jacob Romero looking for a second solid score. And PLC, he just wants to make sure his rhythm keeps flowing.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like Pierre has got this heat on lock. Still, we have to wait if Jacob Romero can back up that 6. So if he wants to take away that first place position from Pierre-Louis Coste, needs to post a wave of 8.11, and Miguel Adao, he needs to 5.01 to combine with his 1-point score wave to take away that second place away from Jacob Romero. But yeah, Jacob Romero is still only to 1 wave of 6 points.
And if you're still watching and hanging with us, we appreciate it. And if you're watching on our Facebook Live, now is a perfect time to drop a comment. We do have time to go through all the shout-outs. So right now, drop us a line, leave a comment, and let us know where you're tuning in from and what time it is. I love to see the times where people are tuning in.
Yeah, it happens to me. Sometimes I'm watching a comp in South America, something like that, and will be 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm wide awake just to see what happens and following all the Portuguese riders on tour. And also the other riders I really love to watch in the water, like some of the guys that I'm watching right now on screen, like PLC, Jacob Romero, and even Miguel Adão, the young blood here from Portugal, putting on a great show on this year's event. And if he gets lucky in this last 4 minutes, he can advance to the quarterfinals and join another Portuguese already in the quarterfinals. That is local man Antonio Cardoso.
Welsh Bodyboarding Club. Big shout out to all the fellas and ladies watching from the club. And here they come. All the shout outs are about to drop right now. So Sebastian Kreft, now living in Brooklyn. What's up, brother? We miss you. 11:07 a.m. So cheers to you. And Nunito, Sebastian says, what's up? Brendan is in Perth. It's 11:07 p.m. So the Perth boys. Yuri, it's 12 p.m. I don't know where you're tuning in from.
How fast those comments dropping, Manny. I just see all the comments going up.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Stevie is in Kurnow. We got, it's 4:08 p.m. Christian, what's up? In Cologne, it's 5:07. Bryant, it's 5 in the morning on the big island of Hawaii. Aloha, brother. You're giving a shaka sign.
From north to south, from east to west, all over in the world, everybody tuning in different time frames and in different countries and continents. Everyone joining us here at the Nazare Pro 2017. Unfortunately, joining us here as well is the fog here at Praia do Norte. And we have the last heat of round number 4 on Old Manny.
Yeah, which is a perfect time to give shout-outs. Kike, what's up? Tuning in from Peru. ¿Cómo vas, hermano? Son las 10. It's 10 a.m. in the morning. And we're still trying to make sure that the scores can be seen. Fog has come and going. And you can see Miguel Adao. He's not having the best heat right now. And he's probably frustrated and just letting off some venting right now. But you can see PLC. His fins are on. He's ready to go. Jacob Romero sitting on his board. Fins are on. Miguel Adal. Here we go. Looks like Miguel Adal is going to put on his fins. And it looks like we may get rolling here.
Yeah, the waves never stopped bumping. The only upset was really the fog because the waves are up there. We can get close to the shore and see the waves just roll through here in Praia do Norte. And like Ian Campbell said in his interview, there's 10-point rides to be had out there. And unfortunately, because of the fog, we need to stall this heat. And we need to throw into tomorrow to end this competition, Manny.
Yeah, it's really tough right now. So Mother Nature decided to throw us a curveball here in Nazare. But again, thank you all for tuning in. Greg Wright in South Africa. What's up, brother? So we are going to try to get these last 4 minutes underway in heat number 4. This heat has already been stopped twice. So it's going to be very fun to see how these guys mentally get back into rhythm. Let's start off from the very top on what happened as the event started today around 1:30 or 2 o'clock p.m. Local time. So in that first heat, it was Udi Valadao in second, Maxime Castillo in third, and Diego Cabrera winning that first heat. So Diego Cabrera and Udi Valadao advanced on into the quarterfinals. In that second heat, we saw the South Africans just go absolutely mental in that second heat and taking out Eder Luciano, the lone Brazilian. So those two South Africans advanced on. Alex Uranga, unfortunately, could not get out of that third heat. It was Alan Munoz winning and Antonio Cardoso keeping the Portuguese hopes alive for taking a win here at his home break, Praia do Norte. And we are currently now in heat number 4.
Waiting for the buzzer to depause this heat, and we'll run the last 4 minutes and 6 seconds we have available until the completion of this heat. And we have very frustrated Miguel Adão still on the hunt for a decent score, and Jacob Romero on the hunt for his second wave to back up that 6 points.
All right, looks like they're doing the countdown, and you'll be able to hear the horn behind us, and that rip current is just ripping through.
And
all right, here we go. Take 3.
Yeah, and look at the position of Jacob Romero just on the inside, holding on to priority 1. He must have in his mind that he wants to back up that 6 and finish this 2 scoring waves to his total score on the scoreboard. And Miguel Adão will have to at least post a very high score if he wants to take that second place position away from Jacob Romero, because he will be backing up a 1-point ride. Meanwhile, in first position is very comfortable PLC.
Yeah, but here at Praia do Norte, you can catch a wave, and on your way back out, within less than a minute, you can actually turn around and catch another wave, which can be just as good as a wave that you caught on the outside.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of waves on offer as soon as the sets roll in. Let's see if that's the case here on this last 3 minutes already into this last heat of round number 4. And let's see who will advance into the quarterfinals and join the winners of the previous heats.
All right, down on the water's edge, you can see Alex Leon, making sure everything is functioning right. Judges can see the riders and the colors. Jose is tuning in. What's up, Jose? I was able to spend some time with him in Santiago on my way home from the Antofagasta event, which was incredible. Shout out to Glenn and Arturo for incredible production with the Antofagasta Festival. But Jose took me to a pretty cool spot to have lunch, and I would like to spend more time next year. So keep that door open. I may be staying the night to ride that flow rider down there.
Woo, that will be amazing if you get a chance to go and visit that flow rider. Meanwhile, waiting for a wave is Jacob Romero holding on to priority. Priority number 2 is with the fellow in yellow local man here, Miguel Adão, and it must be frustrating, Manny. 2 minutes to go, and he's still struggling to find a decent score, and even frustrating for Jacob, just trying to back up that first wave, 6 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty tough times for Miguel Adão if he doesn't have a wave come to him. Not only did the fog roll in, but also Mother Nature deciding to take a little break as far as delivering the bigger sets. So big release of energy being had here in this heat, which is unfortunate. Such a good rhythm going with big waves, big moves, and come heat number 4, round number 4, it just slowed down, and the fog just putting a big old damper on our action here today. But we're gonna finish off this round number 4, and see what Mother Nature decides to do with the fog. So stay tuned. We're gonna let you know what we're gonna do as well.
Yeah, unfortunately for Miguel Adão is not holding on to first priority. Holding on to first priority is the rider in white singlet. It's Jacob Romero, just keeping very close to Miguel Adão because he's the only one that can take away the second position from him. And Pierre-Louis Costas just keeps on riding waves in another peak. And but he's leading comfortably. Up and riding, this is Jacob.
Jacob on the right, a ton of speed. Look at this section coming at him. Punches through the lip. Quick little roll. He's going to ride that up onto the shore. And I think Miguel may have went to the left. But Miguel Adão needing a small score. But that was before Jacob's last ride here. So I don't know if that last wave of Miguel Adão is going to be enough. We're going to see. Actually, up and riding PLC, he's going to ride the last wave of this heat, going for that, his textbook backflip, and pulls it off. So dominating that heat was PLC. Scores are dropping right now. The last wave of Jacob Romero, a 3-point ride. And Miguel Adão, I believe, split that peak with Jacob. So we're going to see what happened on the left here. Yeah, we got the left ride right here, Miguel Adão. Wasn't much for him to do. Going for a big move, a big backflip. But obviously, you can see right there the board coming up short. Wow, what a devastating heat for Miguel Adão. But Jacob Romero squeaking by. But PLC holding on to that lead all the way through the entire heat. What a very interesting and very devastating heat for Miguel Adão.
Yeah, this was the last heat of round number 4. We now know who's going to join the riders in the quarterfinals as we watch the APB replay of Pierre's last wave, the rider in black. There was a backflip there. It was deemed the 5 points. Doesn't make any difference because he was already leading on the strength of an 8.25 and a 5.85. So he wins this one and will be the rider to join Antonio Cardoso in heat number 4 of the quarterfinals. And of course, Jacob Romero going into heat number 3 of the quarterfinals, joining Alan Munoz.
All right, PLC, congratulations. Making it out of that last quarterfinal. A very strange event. Leading up to where we are right now. But so we do have the quarterfinals, semifinals, podium final, and grand final still left in the men's division. With me now is Terry McKenna, who's going to give us the lowdown on how that is going to go down.
Yeah, thank you, Fanny, and thanks again to everybody out there in Webland for hanging in there. It's been a really sort of a challenging day for not just the competitors, but also the organisers and the webcast crew and everyone. But there's a bit of a shot of the scene of the beach here. Everyone a little confused. It's just an absolute. It's like there's a fog making machine a couple of kilometres up the road. They're just pumping this stuff to our way and. Really frustrating. I do feel for the athletes in those last couple of heats, but look, Manny, I never really worry too much about the conditions. It's just whatever Mother Nature dishes up. We just try and manage the conditions as best as possible. What we have is the competition's over for today, folks, and it's an 8 o'clock start tomorrow. Swell, of course, rising overnight. The period's dropping, and, Dino Casimiro, our call guy, the local, reckons that we're going to have some pretty good waves. So, we look forward to everybody tuning in tomorrow.
All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Get the word out. We're gonna go live tomorrow with the last few heats of the men's division, and you don't want to miss that. Here's a quick rundown on what we have in store for the quarterfinals. Diego Cabrera going head-to-head with Jared Houston in that first quarterfinal. Heat number 2, we're going to see Udi Valadao going head-to-head with Ian Campbell, both of them on the hunt for a world title. Alan Munoz is going to go head-to-head with Jacob Romero. And in that last heat, we're going to see PLC go head-to-head with Antonio Cardoso. Oh, my.
Yeah, there is some titanic, battles that will be fought here on the beaches of the beach here at Praia de Norte tomorrow, folks. So make sure you spread the word and tune back in because there's going to be just some really epic surfing, big waves, exactly what you'd expect from a venue like this one here in Nazare.
I think we are going to get one last interview under our belt for today, and I can't wait to hear what PLC had to say about that very strange and very long heat. So PLC and Vilma are ready. Vilma, take it away.
Thank you once again, Manny, and we are here with the last winner of the day because Manny already said that tomorrow we'll be back at 8 a.m. So come back with us. Pierre, how was it? It was a long wait until the end.
Yeah, it was. The waves were good, but it was foggy and we couldn't see much. So we knew the heat was still on. So we just, try to surf.
How do you stay focused in this situation?
Well, that's a good question. Mother Nature controls a bit everything. So I guess just being prepared for anything. It could be the fog, could be a shark, could be anything. So. Just prepare for anything the Mother Nature brings.
Okay, not here in Sharks, not in Nazare for now. So do you want to leave a message for our viewers? They're always tuning in and supporting all the riders. So we'll come back tomorrow at 8, as I said before.
Yeah, for sure. Tomorrow should be the final day. It's been a pretty funny year for me. Can't believe I'm actually in this position and, trying to do a good show tomorrow. Happy to be still competing tomorrow. The weather will be good. I have a good feeling about it. And thanks for everyone to support and to my baby and my wife at home. Big kisses.
Okay, thank you so much for the show that you put up out there. And stay tuned, stay with us. We come back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Come back with us. Back to you guys.
All right, once again, congratulations to PLC. He is actually still on the hunt, still able to pull off a third World Tour title. So that is there. Ian Campbell, he is on the hunt to possibly win his first world title. We still have Yuri Valadao, Jared Houston, and Diego Cabrera also still on the hunt.
Yeah, it's far from over. That's right, Manny. And so tomorrow, folks, these 8 guys that are left in the competition, they're going to have to eat a big bowl of pasta, I'd say, because they got their work cut out tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I know Ian Campbell for sure. I've spent a couple days with him, and he's getting ready, full of energy come competition day. So I think all of the riders are doing the same thing. But tomorrow, Tessa, it's on.
Yeah, absolutely. So 8 o'clock call for a possible 8:30 start. Actually, high tide is 8:30 tomorrow, so I can't really see us getting away on the top of the tide. It'll be more like a 9 or a 9:30 start. Either way, we're going to have the athletes here nice and early. And we hope we got you people there tuning in as well. Make sure you get out there and share the word. And we're trying to break. So we actually got some record-breaking numbers for the webcast, Manny. We're right up over the 1 million mark as far as reach goes on Facebook. And the whole Facebook Live thing has been a huge success for the APB.
No, we're stoked, and keep the comments coming when we put it out there. And you've all been doing great for sharing and commenting. Can't thank you enough. And we're going to end with some commercials. We're going to be back tomorrow morning. Make sure you stay tuned. And all the updates, details, results, everything on apptour.com and also on our Facebook page.
Yeah, awesome. So thanks again for tuning in. This is Tez Romani signing off for another day for the Nazare Pro. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Ciao.